Hi guys, we're the Wright family. I'm Amber. I am the mom of the household, and I kind of do everything behind the scenes to make sure we have everything we could possibly need and more.
That and more is correct. A lot of people call our fifth wheel and everything the magic school bus. It tends to have just about everything that you're going to need. I'm Greg, dad. A little bit about me is trying to keep everything running. We play hard and we go and travel throughout the country, going to different events, primarily UTV Invasion and UTV Takeover. Ava?
Or Liv. Whatever.
Whoever.
I'm Olivia, and I am 14 years old, and I race a 2018 Turbo S, and as Mom and Dad said, they keep us going every time.
Yep.
So,
How long have you been racing, Livy?
I've been racing, well, this year has been the first year in a race machine. Last year I raced a little bit in the family car.
I'm Ava, and I race a 2023 Polaris 200 Razor, and I'm the youngest, and I'm 11 years old.
And Ava, what has been your favorite part about racing this year?
Probably that I've made some connections because of it.
Some awesome friendships, huh?
All right, guys. So we're going to go through these top switches, kind of give you an idea of what modes, what different opportunities and things that you have. So Ava's going to go through the first four as I kind of talk and narrate. This switch right here is going to be heated seats. So if you press up, that is going to be the driver front seat. And if you press down, that's going to be your driver passenger seat. Or rear, yeah. So all four seats are heated. So that one on the very left, that's going to be your driver's side. We're going to move over as we go through these. You'll see how the passenger side goes.
They also have different modes.
Yes.
Levels.
So this second switch here is going to be how you're going to switch through all of your modes on the actual driving modes. So as you switch up and down, it doesn't matter which way you go. It's going to cycle through on the dash that we will get to later. How if it's rear steer, four-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, tank mode, crab walk, and rear steer?
You already said that.
Yes. Okay, so just trying to make sure that I cover all of them. And that's basically that switch. If we move over to this next switch, if you push it up, it's going to be turning traction control on or off. You can switch traction control on and off in four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. If you push the button down, Ava, go ahead and push it down. So flip it down. That's going to be your windshield wiper fluid. So up is traction control, down is windshield wiper fluid. Moving on to this fourth switch over here, this is going to be your windshield wipers and speed. There is 3 speeds adjustable, so you're going to go up for faster, down for slower. As we get over this fifth switch, Livy's going to help us, and up is going to be the light bar. The light bar is recessed right here in the headboard on the inside of the car. It doesn't actually create a glare on the inside because it's all covered. But if you switch it down, it's going to be your inside dome light. So that's what those are going to be. Now the next 2 switches, if we're going left to right, they're going to be your auxiliary switches. We will show this a little bit on the front end of what these actually go to. They are already wired in to ports in the front and the rear. So then that way you have additional power, so you don't actually have to take like the headliner out and everything. You can easily access where they're at. Then we get to the full right, very far right side, and that is going to be heated seats for passenger front and rear. All right. Here we are. We're going to go through the bottom switches. First one on your left here is going to be driver window up and down. Pretty self-explanatory there. The second switch in is going to be your stereo switch and Bluetooth switch. So once you connect to the Bluetooth, everything is controlled through the stereo on that switch. So plus, minus, obviously that's going to be volume. One cool feature that this has is if you want to skip a track, you just hold it up. Same thing if you want to go back to a track, you hold it down.
And if you press in, it's pause.
Press in is pause. Yep. So some different features, things like that really, aren't shown. Just kind of figuring out and working through the bugs. Your next switch is going to be your headlights and high beams, everything like that. So you switch it. Everything, when you go to turn them off or on, you just click it again and cycle through, and then it turns it off. Your fourth switch in is going to be your heat and AC. So that's going to be controlling the temperature. Obviously, up is red, so that's going to be your heat. Down is going to be cool. Now as we get over to this one that Livy's finger's on, that is going to be the fan for the heat and AC. It has a few different speeds, and so you just click up, you cycle through to turn it on and off. That's where you're at. Next one over is going to be your, climate control, basically, inside air, outside air, and rear defrost. It's going to be very similar to a car in that matter. Over on next one, you're going to have hazards, which are going to be up, and your unlock button is going to be down. And then same thing, this very last one is going to be passenger window. As you can see also here in the bottom of the screen, we have a glass break and seatbelt cutter in case of emergencies. Just kind of goes right there. Super nice feature, and always for safety. We're always big on safety, so it's actually a really nice feature to have, considering this is not like a RZR where if something happens you can just climb out because you don't have windows.
I am sitting in the back seat with Greg, and we just kind of wanted to show you that there is plenty of room. My knees are not touching. Olivia can move the seat forward and backward as much as she needs to. So plenty of room. It does come with retractable harnesses, so just a normal harness type seatbelt. Down the center here is where the battery sits. So this component just kind of runs down the center all the way to the front. And then behind Greg and I, do my seatbelt. Right here behind Greg and I is the trunk area. We will get to how you access it from the back, but here's kind of what it looks like. Plenty of room for things. Then we're gonna flip this camera around, and that Olivia and Ava have, yes, they are in the front seat, but they have plenty of space to, again, I still have plenty of room. Olivia can move freely. We are all tall people. For reference, I am 5'9", and I will show you Greg sitting in his seat as well. He is 6 foot. We have plenty of room back here. I would say that one feature that is kind of different is you don't have a window back here. So really, your doors are very wide. So you can actually climb into the car without having to move the seat if you're Ava's size or Livy's size. They didn't have to move the seat for me to be able to get in today. Here's Greg. He is 6 foot again, like I said. Ava, would you like to move the seat back? Keep going.
And keep going. How far back does it go? So if it's all the way back at 6 feet, yeah, it's going to be there. But one thing,
But look at the room she's got up there.
Yep.
She cannot even reach the pedals now.
And Ava is 5 feet tall. So it definitely is functionable for adults.
One thing I did want to kind of go over is we can't do it right now because we're charging the car currently. But when the windows roll down, Ava, point to the lower window section.
The lower window.
So when this window goes down, it does come through there. You do want to watch your fingers because you actually watch the window and you could touch it when it comes down through that lower. That's just kind of one of those things that I wanted to point out as a mom, and kind of just so you know how that looks. Olivia, do you want to show the dash cluster? So this is what the dash cluster looks like. It will kind of go over different things of your car. So your battery, speed, just the normal things. And the way that they designed this is so that it could be changed out in the future if it became outdated. Again, in the center of the steering wheel where you see the Brawley and the horn symbol, that is a horn. It works wonderfully. One other thing I did want to mention that Greg had talked about earlier is on the seat warmers. Holy moly, do they work. Okay, we are learning. We are learning editing. We are learning how to take videos. We've learned that we say a lot. We will correct that.
We'll fix that.
We are honestly just looking to have so much fun with this and can't wait to give you guys a rundown of everything. There's my we wanted to kind of get through the interior today, so that's where we are going to leave off. And if there is any questions moving forward, drop them in the comments below. We will go through anything and everything you guys are curious about. I will let Greg talk about kind of what our next video will be.
Yeah, so I think we're just going to kind of break this down. There's a lot of questions being asked. Going into next week, we're probably going to start with kind of going through the front end suspension. I know one of the questions is obviously going to be weight. We will get to that point. We'll probably even do some fun, take some guesses, things like that prior to the video of weight. Maybe do some free Whiskey Throttle swag for closest guess. That should be coming up. We've given you guys a little bit of insight, so the guesses should be a little close. Other than that, always remember, it's always an adventure.
Always an adventure, even in the bad times.
Yep.
Okay,
Have a
we're
great week.
out.